My name is Lily. I had not seen him in 15 years. Then he walked in wearing a mask. My life was in his hands. This is my story. It is a story about life. It is a story about fear. And it is a story about love. Maybe you know about love. Maybe you have a first love. You never forget your first love. I never forgot mine. I am 33 years old now. I am an adult. I live in a big city. I live alone in a small apartment. It is a nice apartment. It has big windows. I like to look out the windows. I can see the sky. I can see the trees. I have a simple life. I like my life. I work in a flower shop. I love flowers. They are beautiful. They smell sweet. Every morning, I wake up early. I wake up at 6 o'clock. I drink a cup of hot tea. Then, I walk to my shop. The walk is quiet. The city is still sleeping. I open the door of the shop. I turn on the lights. I give water to the flowers. I have red roses. I have yellow tulips. I have white daisies. Customers come in all day. They smile. They buy flowers for birthdays. They buy flowers for weddings. They buy flowers to say, I love you. I like my job. It makes me happy. But sometimes, life is not easy. Sometimes, life brings big surprises. Sometimes, life brings pain. Last year, I started to feel tired. I felt very tired. I did not know why. I thought I was working too hard. I went to sleep early, but I woke up tired. Then my chest started to hurt. It was a sharp pain. It happened when I walked. It happened when I carried heavy flowers. I was scared. I did not want to go to the doctor. Do you like doctors? I do not. Hospitals make me nervous. But the pain did not stop. It got worse. One day, I could not stand up. My heart was beating too fast. My friend called a doctor. My friend took me to the hospital. The hospital was big. It was very clean. It smelled like medicine. I sat in a chair. I waited for a long time. I was alone. I was afraid. Maybe you feel afraid sometimes too. It is okay to feel afraid. We all feel afraid. A heart doctor called my name. Lily, come in, please. I walked into his room. He asked me many questions. He listened to my heart. He did many tests. The tests took a long time. I laid on a cold bed. A big machine took pictures of my heart. Then the doctor sat down. He looked sad. He looked serious. Lily, he said, your heart is sick. There is a problem with a valve. You need surgery. I stopped breathing. Surgery. It is a scary word. I started to cry. Tears fell down my face. I felt very small. I felt very weak. Is it dangerous? I asked. It is a big surgery, the doctor said. But we have good surgeons here. You need this to live a long life. Do not wait. I went home. I sat in my quiet apartment. I looked at the sky. I felt sad. I felt angry. Why me? I am young. I try to be good. I try to be healthy. But sickness does not care. Sickness can happen to anyone. I called my mother. She lives far away. She cried on the phone. I will come to you, Lily, she said. You will be okay. Her voice made me feel a little better. Family is important. Family gives us strength. I got ready for the surgery. I packed a small bag. I put my toothbrush in the bag. I put my soft blue shirt in the bag. I put a book in the bag. I looked in the mirror. I looked pale. I looked tired. You can do this, I told myself. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself. You have to be your own friend. The day of the surgery came. It was a cold morning. It was raining. The gray clouds matched my feelings. My mother drove me to the hospital. She held my hand tight. I love you, Lily, she said. I love you too, Mom, I said. We walked inside. The nurses were nice. They gave me a hospital dress. It was a funny dress. It opened in the back. I felt silly, but I also felt scared. They put me in a bed. The bed had wheels. They pushed the bed down a long hall. The lights on the ceiling passed by. 1, 2, 3. Flash, flash, flash. The hall was very quiet. I heard only the wheels turning. They took me to a cold room. It was the waiting room for surgery. A nurse came. Her name was Sarah. She smiled at me. How are you feeling, Lily? She asked. I am terrified, I said. That is normal, Sarah said. She held my hand. Her hand was warm. You are in good hands. The best surgeon in the city is doing your surgery today. I closed my eyes. I took a deep breath. I thought about my flower shop. I thought about the red roses. I tried to find a happy thought. Then the big doors opened. A tall man walked in. He wore green clothes. He wore a blue cap. He wore a blue mask over his mouth and nose. I could only see his eyes. He walked to the end of my bed. He picked up my paper. He read my name. He stopped. He did not move. He stood very still. I looked at him. I looked at his eyes. They were brown. They were deep brown. I knew those eyes. I knew them from a long time ago. Suddenly, my heart beat faster. Not from sickness, but from shock. 15 years ago, I was 18 years old. I lived in a small town. I was in high school. I was a shy girl. I liked to read books. I liked to sit under trees. There was a boy in my school. His name was Leo. Leo was smart. He was kind. He had messy brown hair. He had deep brown eyes. One day, it was raining. I was walking home. I did not have an umbrella. I was getting wet. Leo ran up to me. He had a big black umbrella. Do you want to share? He asked. He smiled. His smile was warm. It made me feel safe. Yes, thank you, I said. That was our first talk. We walked together. We talked about school. We talked about books. We laughed. From that day, we were always together. We were best friends. Then, we were more than friends. He was my first love. Do you remember your first love? It is a beautiful feeling. Everything feels new. The sky looks bluer. The food tastes better. The songs sound sweeter. Leo and I spent a lot of time together. We sat by the river. We watched the water. "What do you want to be?" I asked him one day. Leo looked at the water. "I want to be a doctor," he said. "I want to fix broken things. I want to save lives." "You will be a great doctor," I told him. I believed in him. I really did. But dreams have a high price. To be a great doctor, Leo had to go away. He got a place at a very good medical school. It was in another country. It was very far away. We stood at the train station. It was time for him to go. I was crying. I could not stop crying. My heart felt like it was breaking. "Do not cry, Lily," Leo said. He held my face in his hands. "I have to do this, but I will never forget you. I will wait for you," I said. He kissed my forehead. "Live your life, Lily. Be happy." He got on the train. The train moved away. I stood there for a long time. I felt empty. I was alone. We wrote letters for a year, but it was hard. He was very busy studying. He was always tired. I was working in the flower shop. Our lives were different. The letters got shorter. Then they stopped. That is how life goes sometimes. People change. Paths go in different directions. I was sad for a long time. I missed his brown eyes. I missed his voice. But time passes. Time heals many things. I grew up. I moved on. I built a good life for myself. And now, 15 years later, here I was, in a cold hospital room, sick, scared. And here he was, standing at the end of my bed, wearing a blue mask. "Lily," he said softly. His voice was deeper now, but I knew it. It was the same voice that talked to me under the umbrella. It was the same voice that said goodbye at the train station. "Leo," I whispered. My voice was shaking. He dropped the paper. He stepped closer to my bed. He looked down at me. His brown eyes were full of shock. "It is you," he said. "It is really you." "What are you doing here?" I asked. I felt confused. I felt dizzy. "I am a heart surgeon," he said. "I work here now. I came back to the city last year." He looked at the machines next to my bed. He looked back at me. His eyes looked sad. "You are sick, Lily." "Yes," I said. Tears filled my eyes again. "My heart is broken, I guess." I tried to make a small joke, but it was not funny. Leo took off his blue mask. His face was older. He had small lines around his eyes. He looked tired. He looked like a man who works very hard. But he was still handsome. He was still my Leo. He reached out. He took my hand. His hand was big and strong. "I am so sorry you are here, Lily," he said. "I am sorry you are in pain." "Are you my doctor?" I asked. I could not believe it. "Yes," he said. "I am the head surgeon. I was assigned to this surgery." I did not look at the patient's full name until now. I did not know. "Can you fix it?" I asked. I looked into his eyes. I wanted the truth. "Am I going to die, Leo?" He squeezed my hand. He squeezed it hard. "No," he said. His voice was strong. "No, Lily. You are not going to die. I will not let you die. I promise you." I will fix your heart. I will take care of you. I looked at him. I felt a warm feeling in my chest. The fear started to go away. I was still in a cold hospital. I was still going to have big surgery, but I was not alone. My first love was here. He was my doctor. My life was in his hands, and I trusted those hands. Okay, I whispered. I trust you, Leo. He put his mask back on. He looked like a doctor again, but his eyes were still soft. It is time, he said to the nurse. The nurse pushed my bed. We went through another set of doors. We went into the surgery room. It was very bright. The lights were big and round. They looked like small suns. There were many machines. They made beeping sounds. Beep, beep, beep. Many people were in the room. They all wore green and blue. They moved quickly. They knew what to do. A doctor came to my head. He was the sleeping doctor. Hello, Lily, he said. I am going to give you some medicine. It will make you sleep. You will not feel anything. You will have a good dream. I looked for Leo. He was standing near me. He was washing his hands very carefully. He looked at me. He nodded his head. He was telling me it was okay. The sleeping doctor put something in my arm. It felt cold. Count backward from 10, Lily, he said. 10, I said. My voice sounded far away. 9, the room started to spin slowly. 8, I looked at Leo's brown eyes. 7, the lights got very bright. 6, everything went dark. I felt nothing. I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I was in a deep, deep sleep. When you have surgery, time stops. For me, it was only 1 second. But in the real world, many hours passed. Slowly, very slowly, I started to wake up. It was dark. I felt heavy. My body felt like a big stone. I tried to open my eyes. My eyelids were very heavy. I closed them again. I heard a sound, beep, beep, beep. It was a steady sound. It was my heartbeat on a machine. My heart was still beating. I was alive. I tried to swallow. My mouth was very dry. It felt like sand. Water, I tried to say, but no sound came out. Then I felt something warm. Someone was holding my hand. I forced my eyes open. Everything was blurry. It was like looking through dirty water. I blinked once. I blinked twice. The picture became clear. I was in a small room. It was quiet. Only the machine was making noise. Next to my bed, someone was sitting in a chair. It was Leo. He was not wearing his mask or cap. He was wearing normal clothes. He was holding my hand with both of his hands. His head was down. He looked like he was praying. I moved my fingers. Leo's head snapped up. He looked at my face. His eyes were red. He looked very tired. Lily, he said softly. Hi, I whispered. My throat hurt. He stood up quickly. He poured a small cup of water. He put a small sponge in the water. He touched the sponge to my lips. It was the best water I ever tasted. Thank you, I said. You are awake, he said. He smiled. It was a big, beautiful smile. You did great, Lily. The surgery was perfect. Your heart is fixed. A tear fell from my eye. I am alive. Yes, you are, he said. He sat back down. He did not let go of my hand. It took 6 hours, but the valve is repaired. You are going to be completely healthy again. I squeezed his hand. Thank you, Leo. You saved my life. I told you I would, he said softly. We stayed quiet for a few minutes. I was very tired. The medicine was still strong. I closed my eyes again. Sleep, Lily, he said. I will be here when you wake up. I slept. I slept for a whole day. When I woke up again, it was morning. The sun was shining through the window. My mother was sitting next to my bed. She was reading a book. She saw my open eyes. She jumped up. She kissed my cheek. Oh, my beautiful girl, she said. You look so much better. Your color is coming back. I feel better, Mom, I said. It was true. My chest hurt. It felt like someone hit me hard. But the deep, sick feeling was gone. I felt lighter. Your doctor is wonderful, my mother said. Dr. Leo. He came to check on you every 3 hours. He is a very good man. I smiled. Yes, he is. I stayed in the hospital for 10 days. Every day, I got a little stronger. On the 2nd day, I could sit up. On the 4th day, I could eat real food. On the 6th day, I could walk slowly in the hall. And every day, Leo came to see me. He came in the morning before his other surgeries. He came in the evening when he finished his work. Sometimes, he stayed for 5 minutes. Sometimes, he stayed for an hour. We started to talk again. Just like we did 15 years ago. Why did you come back to the city? I asked him one evening. He was sitting in the chair by my bed. He brought me a cup of tea. He looked at his hands. I missed home, he said. I worked in very big hospitals in other countries. I saw many things. I saved many lives, but I felt empty. I missed the quiet streets. I missed the river. I missed my old life. He looked up at me. I wondered what happened to you, Lily. I looked for you on the internet. I saw you had a flower shop. I was happy you followed your dream. I love my shop, I said. Flowers are simple. They are honest. They grow, they bloom, and they bring joy. Just like you, he said softly. I blushed. I felt my face get warm. It felt strange. I was a 33-year-old woman in a hospital gown. I had a big bandage on my chest, but he made me feel like an 18-year-old girl again. Why did you never marry? I asked. It was a bold question, but I wanted to know. Leo smiled a sad smile. I was married to my job, he said. Medicine takes all your time. It takes all your energy. I tried to date, but it never felt right. No one ever understood me. He paused. He looked deep into my eyes. No one ever understood me like you did, Lily. My heart did a little jump. It was a healthy jump this time. I never married either, I said. I had a few boyfriends, but they were not right for me. My shop was my life. We talked until the nurse came in. She told Leo he had to leave so I could sleep. Good night, Lily, he said. "Good night, Dr. Leo," I teased him. He laughed. It was a rich, happy sound. It made the hospital room feel warm. The next few days passed quickly. I was getting better very fast. The other doctors were amazed. They said my heart was healing perfectly. I knew why. I had a reason to heal. I had hope. Finally, the day came for me to go home. I took off the ugly hospital gown. I put on my soft blue shirt. I looked in the mirror. I looked thin. I had a long scar on my chest. It was red. It was new. But I did not hate it. I touched the scar gently. It was a mark of life. It meant I survived. It meant I had more time. My mother packed my small bag. "Are you ready, sweetheart?" she asked. "Yes, Mom," I said. "I am ready to go home." There was a knock on the open door. It was Leo. He was wearing his white doctor's coat. "Going somewhere?" he asked with a smile. "Going back to my flowers," I said. He walked into the room. He handed me a piece of paper. "This is a list of things you must do. Drink water, rest, take small walks, do not lift heavy things." "I will be a good patient," I said. He handed me another small piece of paper. "And this is my personal phone number," he said. His voice was low. "Call me if you need anything. Call me if you feel pain." He paused. "Call me if you just want to talk." I took the paper. I held it tightly. "I will call you," I promised. My mother and I left the hospital. The air outside was fresh. The sun was shining. The rain from 10 days ago was gone. The sky was bright blue. It felt like a new beginning. I went back to my apartment. It was quiet. It smelled a little like dust. But it was home. I sat in my chair by the window. I looked at the trees. I felt so grateful. Life is a beautiful thing. We must never forget to be thankful for life. The first week at home was slow. I rested a lot. I read books. I drank tea. My mother cooked nice soup for me. After 1 week, I picked up the small paper. I looked at Leo's number. I felt nervous. My hands were shaking a little. I took a deep breath. I called the number. It rang 2 times. "Hello," he answered. "Hi, Leo," I said. "It's Lily." "Lily," his voice sounded happy. "How are you? Is your chest hurting? Are you resting?" I laughed. "I am fine, doctor. No pain, just resting. I called because, well, I wanted to talk." "I am glad," he said. We talked for an hour. We talked about silly things. We talked about movies. We talked about food. It felt easy. It felt natural. After that day, we talked every evening. He called me after his work. Sometimes he was very tired. I could hear it in his voice, but he always called. 1 month passed. My heart grew stronger. I went back to my flower shop for a few hours a day. I did not carry heavy buckets. My friend helped me, but I arranged the flowers. I smelled the roses. I smiled at the customers. I was back in my happy place. One Saturday afternoon, the bell on the shop door rang. I looked up from a bunch of yellow daisies. Leo walked in. He was wearing blue jeans and a white shirt. He looked relaxed. He looked handsome. "Hello, florist," he said. "Hello, surgeon," I said. I smiled big. He looked around the shop. "It is beautiful here, Lily. It smells amazing." "Thank you," I said. "What can I help you with? Do you need flowers for someone special?" He walked slowly to the counter. He looked right at me. "Yes, I do." He picked up one perfect red rose from a bucket. He paid me for it. Then he held the rose out to me. "For you," he said. I took the rose. My hands trembled. I smelled the sweet flower. I looked into his brown eyes. "Lily," he said gently, 15 years ago, I made a choice. I chose my dream. I chose to be a doctor. I do not regret it. I saved many people. I saved you. But I missed you every single day." He stepped closer. "Life gave me a second chance. It brought you back to me. Or it brought me back to you. I do not want to lose you again. Will you have dinner with me tonight?" My heart beat fast, but it did not hurt. It felt strong. It felt full of joy. "Yes, Leo," I said. "I would love to have dinner with you." That night, we went to a quiet restaurant. We ate good food. We talked for hours. We held hands across the table. It was not like high school. We were not children anymore. We were adults. We had scars. We had pain in our past. But we also had wisdom. We knew what was important. Love is not always easy. Love is not always simple. Sometimes you have to let love go. Sometimes you have to wait a very long time. But if it is true love, it comes back. It has been a year since my surgery. My heart is perfectly healthy. I run my shop full time. My flowers are blooming beautifully. And Leo, he is still the best heart surgeon in the city. He still works hard. He still saves lives. But he does not work all the time now. He comes home to me. We are together now. We take walks by the river on Sundays. We share an umbrella when it rains. We laugh. We cook dinner together. Every night, before we go to sleep, he puts his hand flat on my chest. He feels my heart beating under the scar. "Strong and steady," he always says. "Because you fixed it," I always reply. "No," he says, kissing my forehead. "Because you are brave. This is my story. It was a scary journey. I was very afraid. I thought my life was over. But it was only a new chapter starting. Life can be hard. Sickness can come. Sadness can come. You might feel lost. You might feel alone. You might think your dreams are broken. But please listen to me. Do not give up hope. Miracles happen every day. Sometimes they happen in big, bright surgery rooms. Sometimes they happen in quiet flower shops. If you are sick, you can get better. If you are sad, you can find joy again. If you lose love, love can find you again. You are stronger than you think. You can face your fears. You can survive the dark days. The sun will shine again. The flowers will bloom again. Keep going, keep hoping. Keep your heart open. Life is full of beautiful surprises. You never know who might walk through the door. Thank you for listening to my story. I wish you a healthy heart. I wish you true love. I wish you a beautiful life. You can do this too. Keep going. Everything will be okay. Everything will be wonderful. Just believe. Just love. Just live.